ABC's 2020 profiles the family of murdered Army Specialist Vanessa Guillen as they continue to seek justice for her death. ABC's John Quinones joins me now. And John, Vanessa's murder has shed light on what appears to be major problems with sexual harassment, not only at Fort Hood, but in the military in general.
It's a story of a great tragedy and unimaginable loss, and it's happening again and again and again, particularly at Fort Hood, and that's the only base we looked at. How could all this alleged sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and of course disappearances and deaths? There have been 28 deaths there at Fort Hood in the last year alone. How could it happen in a place where soldiers should feel they're the safest, right, within the gates of that U.S. military compound? So we will take our questions tonight to the Pentagon. We interview the top Army leadership, the person with the Army's Criminal Investigation Division, the Army's Undersecretary, and of course we went all the way to the top, to the Secretary of the Army. They seem committed to make inroads, to make changes. The Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy, told me we have to find answers as to what in the world is happening in Fort Hood, and we will hold people accountable.
And of course, we're already seeing a little bit of change at Fort Hood. The commanding officer there was asked to step down. He was supposed to come to the 1st Armored Cavalry Division here at Fort Bliss, but of course now that's all been put on hold. So what are you seeing as far as the response from the Secretary of the Army and other top military leaders?
Well, the Secretary of the Army has said that Fort Hood has, again, he's admitting to some of the biggest problems there. The highest rate, he says, for murder, for sexual assault, for sexual harassment. The numbers, to quote him, are very, very high. They're bad, and we need to make adjustments because we are indeed very concerned. I mean, this just happened last month. Another soldier turns up dead, a man, Sergeant Elder Fernandez, who had complained about sexual abuse. They find him hanging from a tree. There's a sense of urgency that I get. There's several committees now. Congress is looking into this. There'll be a separate independent review of the command by a civilian board. Those findings are due in October. Some consolation, late October. Some consolation, I think, for the Guillen family. But the fact is, the main suspect in this case, and this is one of the other tragedies, the main suspect wound up killing himself. So the Guillen family will never know why their daughter was killed. Robinson will never go to trial. I asked Secretary McCarthy about that. Will there ever be justice for Vanessa? And his answer was very simple. And he said, I just don't know. Now, the hope is that this one suspect that police are holding, Cecily Aguilar, might shed light on all this. She was Specialist Robinson's girlfriend, alleged girlfriend. She's been charged not with murder, but with helping dispose of Vanessa's body. She's pleaded not guilty and is not convicted, but she would stand trial, and the hope is that she might shed some light and answer some of these questions that the family is still, asking.
I Am Vanessa, a special 2-hour edition of ABC's 2020, airs tonight at 8 and only on ABC 7. John Quinones, as always, a pleasure to talk with you today. Thanks for joining us.